The report on the Gujarat riots of 2002.
Be specific.
Is
I'm
India
going to come back hard
taking
at
up
you.
this report with UK?
Which report?
So you may be aware that BBC has recently broadcast a documentary, a longish documentary on the Gujarat riots, which also says that Narendra Modi was the perpetrator of ethnic cleansing. Now, this is based on a secret document that apparently
Question, please.
has come from, just to explain to you, has come from the Foreign Office of 2002. Now, what is the Indian government's reaction to it? The British Prime Minister has spoken, but what has the Indian government said or done about it?
You were giving some examples from the BBC documentary. I presume the one you're talking about was day before, something like that. Do note that this has not been screened in India. So I am only going to comment on the context of what I have heard about or have my colleagues have seen. Let me just make it very clear. We think this is a propaganda piece designed to push a particular discredited narrative. The bias, a lack of objectivity, and frankly, a continuing colonial mindset is blatantly visible. If anything, this film or documentary is a reflection on the agency and individuals that are peddling this narrative again. It makes us wonder whether about the purpose of this exercise and the agenda behind it. And frankly, we do not wish to dignify such efforts.
Arindam Smita Sharma, just to follow up, I'm kind of confused as to how can a documentary be labelled as propaganda if it has not been viewed in India, as you say. And also, a very specific question. I mean, the documentary does show the former Foreign Secretary of UK, then Jack Straw, on record saying that there is this cable that exists, internal report that exists. Does India confirm or deny this report? Is India taking this up? The report on the Gujarat riots of 2002.
Be specific.
Is
I'm going to
India
come back hard
taking
at
up
you.
this report with UK?
Which report?
The report that Mr. Jack Straw refers to in the documentary.
Okay. Let's be clear.
That there is an internal cable of the UK government.
Fair enough. Yeah, Kalol.
Well, continuing with that, I'm Kalol from The Hindu. The BBC documentary also says that the Gujarat riots actually led to the killing of UK citizens of Indian origin. So did the UK government ever take this up with the Indian government before? The death of UK citizens in the Gujarat riots?
You mean take up as in what? As a legal thing?
Legal thing for the sake of justice or damage? Diplomatically,
I'm not sure you're asking the right question. Why would they take up a case diplomatically for a death?
I mean, their citizens, their citizens dying in
Your question is a very broad one. I'll try to answer. I'm not fully convinced your question yourself. Smita and Kalol, I'll try to answer both your questions. Look, you can't have it both ways. I am confirming that this, as far as I know, is not available for viewing here. Ideally, the question shouldn't have been asked to me, but people are happy to ask me a question which is not to be viewed in India. This is because we have a High Commission, we have information to that video. Okay, so that is not being screened here. I am repeating again. We think it's a propaganda piece. Our assessment is a propaganda piece. Now, how can you say that? I'm saying it. We have seen it and I feel it's a propaganda piece. I don't know what's the perspective. You could say it's not aired here, true. But I happily answering questions here. I'm happy to say it's not aired in India and I could say nothing. I have no comment to make. But since you asked, I am responding to it. The separate question you had about the comments by former Foreign Secretary in that and something about reports that he is referring to. Look, he seems to be referring to some internal UK report. How do I have access to that? And it's a 20-year-old report. Why would I just jump on it now? And just because Jack Straw says it, how does it lend it that much legitimacy? I heard words like inquiry and investigation. There's a reason we use the word colonial mindset. We don't use words loosely. What inquiry? They were diplomats here. Investigation. Are they ruling the country? I'm sorry, I do not agree with that characterization, and obviously there is an agenda behind it. UK citizens' death, look, If there are deaths here in our country, they're followed by our legal procedure. Whether they took it up in 2002, look, I don't have a ready answer. I wasn't around, and I'll have to check whether it was taken up, whether that's a formality of taken up or not, whether legal systems. But as you very well know, there has been a lot of legal process against deaths that have happened during that time. I wouldn't be able to answer whether it was taken up or not without checking the facts on that.